Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Battlestar Galactica. I'm your best host, Jesse McGrath.
I don't like this. Do this again.
Are you going to make me do it again every time?
For sure. Do it again. Better.
All right.
Do it again, but don't suck this time.
Okay, I got it. You ready? Hi, everyone. Welcome to Battlestar Galactica. I'm Jesse McGrath, and I'm here with Wilder Schaub. Better?
that was better. I think.
Okay, good. We got that one.
That's how you should do it every week.
Yeah. All right. Well, done.
Here we are. Season 4, episode 16.
Yep.
Working our way backwards, in case you don't know, in case you're listening for the first time. This is a podcast where two big dumb assholes try to watch Battlestar Galactica in reverse chronological order for the first time. We know nothing about the show except for what we've seen backwards so far.
Yeah. If the title wasn't clear, and I know it is, so stop. Stop fucking talking like that.
Here we are. What's the name of this episode?
Deadlock.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, so fucking...
That's a sick-ass episode title, bro.
Would you say that any of the episode titles have made any type of sense?
Nah.
Yeah. Me neither.
Why would they?
Right, I agree.
So let's start this off by going over some caricatures.
Yep.
I got a name for you.
Yep.
Ellen.
Who's that? Oh, that's...
DeGeneres.
Yep. That's, that's crazy. It's crazy that Ellen DeGeneres is on this show. I didn't hear anything about that.
Super nuts.
Yeah.
She's Eye Patch's blonde woman who was presumed dead.
Yeah, we learn so much about Eye Patch, or just like I guess like things are fleshed out. Maybe like not a ton new was learned, but like I didn't know.
You know what I think?
Okay, go on.
I think we've been going about the Cylon thing wrong because for some reason, right off the bat,
I would argue we've been going about
robots.
all of this wrong.
Yeah, but like, for what reason did we assume Cylons are robots? Just because it sounds like cyborg?
Because, yeah, and space. But I think, like, this episode
I think that they're not robots.
That.
I think that they're just, like, another species of, like, being. I think they just live a long time. It's like a vampire or something.
Right.
They live a long time, and they have feelings and thoughts and emotions.
Yes.
And they fucking reproduce.
Right.
Unsuccessfully in this episode.
Okay. That's rude. It's talking about a miscarriage, dude.
Yeah, well, look, we already knew that happened because they mentioned it in the last episode that we talked about.
Yeah, but I didn't know it was fucking Eye Patch's miscarriage. That's wild.
Yeah, well, that's what I was... Yeah, I didn't know that either. Liam, little baby Liam, never going to be born.
Right.
Dark thing.
Yeah.
I think that's the only new character that I pretty much got. As far as Boomer goes, I feel like everyone's already knowing that Boomer's kind of Boomer's kind of on everybody's shit list.
Well, that's why in the beginning of the next episode or the last episode, however you want to call it, they're automatically like, we're trying her for treason.
I feel like she's pulling like a Loki situation where she wants to be captured because she's eventually going to end up
stealing Hera,
stealing the little baby.
Yeah, that's fair. They don't really explain that, so you're jumping to that conclusion without any. I mean, that's just you. Making that up, but that's fine. You can make stuff. I'll let you have that one. It's a nice one.
We also learn. Well, no, actually, though, going directly against my theory that Cylons are not robots.
Cool, nice.
They keep calling them like an 8 or a
right,
and no, they're not rating them on hotness.
Right, because they all look the same, so that would make no sense.
Yeah, it's funny that also like if they were all created to be Hotzos, why the fuck is Eye Patch in the game? Because he's a disgusting mongrel.
Oh, how about the fact that we get to see him patchless?
Ugh. That fucking image of him without the eye patch is going to haunt my nightmares. And also, like, why is it still bloody?
Real bad.
Bloody?
Oh, yeah, it's infected. That's an infected.
God,
he's an infected for sure. He needs to see World's Shittiest Doctor, which is the doctor aboard the Battlestar. Because at one point, Dr. Shitbird, he's like, this baby's fine. Better clear this bed out for a sick one. He's like mad that this baby is that they care about the baby, which is that's I feel like as far as patient care go. I've been watching a lot of ER lately.
Oh my god!
Just a parallel with
impressive.
This. Yeah. So I've really picked up quite a bit of doctor knowledge, as you would assume.
Why don't you just tell me anything about doctors?
Yeah, I'm trying to. First of all, they're cuties. All of them are cuties. Secondly,
that's true. Is Clooney on that show?
Oh,
is that
baby.
what that show was?
Clooney got his start there, and he is working his way through a couple different looks, couple different haircuts, and that is what I know about doctoring. Thank you so much. This has been my time. Goodbye.
Okay, cool. So basically you know nothing about doctoring. In other words, you know that Clooney had different haircuts.
No, I know that patient care is very important, and that the doctor on the Battlestar is no bueno at that. He is not good at that. That patient care, like in terms of like the the personal relationships, he doesn't seem to have that quite down.
He's still hanging comfortably on the shit list.
Yeah, he's made himself a little nest there on the shit list, and I think he'll be there a while, to be honest.
Oh, for sure, because there's no way that he gets worse as the show goes on, like in actual chronological order. So that's a damn shame. But I feel like since they're like eights. I feel like it's like Terminators, right? There's like T-1000s.
And there's a lot of like, oh, we built them or we made them. A lot of like,
maybe they just made
them.
Because at one point when Olmos is talking to him, he's like, "Were you born?" Which is a wild question to ask someone.
Right. And then his response is, "Yeah, but I don't remember it."
Yeah, because it's been like it's like thousands of years.
Yeah.
He and Ellen were married for thousands of years.
Yeah,
apparently.
a couple thousand, and then he hooked up with. So the one of the cool side plots that this episode reveals is that just Eye Patch is just banging Hotsos left and right.
For thousands of years.
Yeah, and it seems like he's looked the same for thousands of years, except at some point got an eye patch. So it's great that that's just
whoever made Cylons. Can't they just pop another eye inside of him?
Yeah, but that's again, you're going back to robots, and I think maybe they're
get
not
his ass
robots.
a new eye.
Yeah,
but see, like I want to say that they're not robots, but that whole thing about like an 8, we made them. That sounds like some robot.
It's pretty Robotnik. Yeah.
I think Tublord's a Cylon.
He's gotta be, right? They have this
when they're having that little
like
Cylon committee.
Yeah.
Like the colony or whatever.
And he gets a vote even though he can't speak.
Yeah, that is ridiculous. And they're voting on whether to leave the ship.
And it's so great that the one woman's like, and we don't know how he would vote. And they're all just like, yes, we do. And then there's no discussion. That's it.
That's so funny. And then later they're like, it's 2 votes. Yeah. It's only you and Mr. Anders versus us. It's like Mr. Anders is laying comatose in a bed.
Mr. Anders, the Tublord who flew the fleet into the sun in the last episode.
Yeah, okay, fine. Whatever. How big is the Galactica? How many fucking colonies are on there?
It has so many levels and layers. It's like
is it just a fucking free-for-all in there?
It's like a big old cake. That's how I like to think of it. A big, juicy cake with lots of layers.
Okay.
And lots of...
How many layers are in cakes that you normally have? Maybe like 3 at the most.
So yesterday I had, as you know, a big cake for dinner. And that cake was 40 layers tall. And it housed many colonies. So what I'm saying is that the Galactica is a cake. That's my new theory. What do you think?
Oh, so now you think the Battlestar is a cake?
Yeah. Yes. I think the Battlestar and I think that the word Battlestar and the word cake are interchangeable.
I often do order. I do when I'm want cake at a restaurant. I'll be like, I'll have a slice of Battlestar, please.
Right. Maybe you didn't know this because you're an imbecile, but the chain restaurant that sells the little cakes, it used to be called Nothing But Battlestars, and they just thought that didn't have quite the ring.
I like cheese Battlestar.
Do you? I don't think you do.
At the cheese Battlestar factory.
My favorite band is Battlestar. I know that they kind of went out in the 90s, but
yeah, they had a lot of good like brass sections and
like kind of like ska light.
Yeah, for sure. I like the little ones, the cup Battlestars. But I can't think of any other things that are cake.
Well, if you're getting real decadent, you can have yourself an ice cream Battlestar, but there's some debate as to whether they're not that even.
And I think we all know ice cream Battlestars are better than
right, but does it even count? Because it's mostly just ice cream in the shape of a Battlestar.
Right, and they're really just they're throwing the Battlestar into the ice cream just to make it technically a Battlestar.
Right. But that's a little. I don't know.
It's ice cream.
As a purist, as a Battlestar purist, I don't know that really does it for me. So anyways, yeah. So
for breakfast, you could also fry yourself up some bigger, flatter Battlestars.
Yep.
Some Buttermilk Battlestars.
Yep, Buttermilk Battlestars. Yeah, I know. I see where you're going with it, and I agree with it fully.
Let's throw this bit in the trash. I want to talk about Cylon Goop.
Okay, yeah, but yes, okay, go, because it's such a mystery. Wait,
that's all I have to say, because I don't know what it is.
Shit list, or do we want to know who's on the shit list?
Yeah, I mean, I think we already know. Gaius also building his nest right there.
He's back up. He's climbed right back up.
Ellen to me actually is at the very bottom of the shit list.
Yeah,
I can't stand her.
She's like doing some real. I mean, she's like seems to be responsible for that miscarriage. So,
like 100%.
Yeah.
Actually, wait. Speaking of the miscarriage, we got a lot of information in this episode about about what's going on. Like, so the reason that the little girl is so important is because apparently there have been a bunch of civilizations where all human civilizations have failed and all Cylon civilizations have failed.
Right.
So they're convinced that if they keep making a world full of mixed people, then everything is going to turn out well, which is why hair is so important.
Yes.
So that became sort of clear to me. I get hair's importance now. I don't understand how or why races of humans and Cylons didn't work.
Yeah, because there are lots of kids. Like, we saw a ton more kids in this episode. Like, there's not a problem of population, so I don't really get why you need this specific kid, because she's like a halfling or a mudblood or whatever you want to call her.
Yeah. Mudblood is the proper term.
Yeah.
If Hera's a fitty, right?
Yeah.
How she can't just make another fitty?
Well, but maybe it's one of those things
unless she
where,
breeds
like,
with a fitty.
Well, but no. But I think it's probably one of those things where it's like, but we can now study her DNA and, like,
Do you think that in the future, the kids are going to talk about being, like, part Cylon the way they talk about being part Native American?
Yeah.
I'm actually a quarter, 1/16 Cylon.
So
I'm better than you?
Yeah, well, it was... Okay, hold on. Are you running across a lot of, like, really indignant Native Americans who are saying that they're better than you?
No, I'm talking about rando-ass white people that like to claim that they're a little bit Native American.
Yeah, I got you.
No, Native Americans are better than me.
Yeah, I was going to say...
I have no doubt
make
about
that point. I'm glad you did.
Yeah, and I think really the only type of person that's better than me.
Oh,
because I'm mostly better than everything.
See, now this is where you and we divert a little bit, because I would say
you think
aren't better than
I'm
no
confused.
one. You're better than no one.
Huh?
Yeah,
that's very different than my opinion.
Right, I would call you bottom. You're the bottom.
Okay, well, you're on the shit list of my life right now.
Cool.
You know who's on the leaderboard though?
Go ahead.
Caprica.
Yeah, she had herself a good little episode.
She hasn't done anything to piss me off.
Yeah.
I think she's the most sympathetic. And, I mean, I don't know about, like, Angel Projection Caprica, who's talking to Gaius. That one seems kind of evil.
Yeah, she's a bee.
She's kind of, like, revving Gaius up.
No good.
So, do you think that the Caprica we kept seeing with Gaius is this same one? God damn it, it's so hard to tell. There's too many of them.
Yeah, there's way too many of them. Okay,
also, it seems like she just gave herself that name recently, or someone gave her that name recently, because President Laura was like... Stanky Danky Cancer Mama was like,
yeah,
I never called you that name before.
Right, which is mad disrespectful. That whole conversation was so, because she was like, "Do you?"
But
think
that made me
think that
like that's a recent name.
Oh, do you think that kid is important? And luckily, Caprica's like, yeah. Like it's my child.
Yeah, it's my child. I think it's important.
Yes, I do think this fucking baby inside of me is important. And then Cancer Mama like really hits the brakes and super throws into reverse. Like right. No, totally. All children are important, of course.
And then she like did that thing where she basically squints and pretends to see something else and walks away. Oh, you need help with? Is that heavy?
Yeah. Oh, let me get. Oh my God, I think my cancer's calling.
I just remembered I have to. Yeah. Let's talk about what happens in this episode. Is everyone eating cartilage at the beginning of this show?
Okay,
at the beginning of the episode?
I really liked all of Edward James Olmos's plot in this episode, because it was him being like, is this
just
alive?
Blacked out? He gets so drunk.
Yeah. So they're like repairing the ship more. I would love to see an episode where the ship is fucking intact. I am so thrilled for the day it comes, because half of the episodes open with, well, gotta repair the ship. ship's taken on a lot of damage. Like, and we have not seen, other than the one time.
This episode opened with a bunch of people eating cartilage.
They weren't eating it. They were applying it to the ship. What are you talking about?
No, they were eating it. They were all feeding on it. That's the scene where, like, Caprica gets, like, assaulted.
Oh, yeah. But I'm talking about when they're in, like, their, like, what looks like an engine room, and they're painting the damage with...
The Cylon goop.
Yeah, and he's like, is it alive? And then they cut. They don't answer the question. But I think there's 2 instances of foreshadowing in this episode. So one, I think that is how Tub Lord taps into the ship. I think that this, like, genetic goop that they are using to fix the ship is how Tub Lord is able to, like, control shit, because it's, like, biochemical or something, biomaterial. So that's one. 2, how about, like, Starbucks only line, which is when they get a piano. Boy, big foreshadow, big hint for the next episode.
And the actor is just sitting back there, which is like, if I was watching this show for the first time, I would not remember that in the last episode it was like, oh, I remember that. She asked when they got a piano.
Right. Yeah.
And also the bartender doesn't answer her.
Yes, this is the one instance where the way that we are watching it is more correct.
Yeah, that's true.
So I loved those little foreshadowings. Yeah, well, as you know, we don't have any sponsors, but we...
Right, yeah, I was excited to hear about that.
But I thought that we could just plug some sponsors that we love in hopes that they will jump on board.
Oh, yeah. I think, why wouldn't they?
Right, I figure that's how, like, all the other podcasts get, like, Casper and MeUndies, is they're just, like, they talk about fucking mattresses for 40 episodes, and then Mattress Company calls, and they're like... well, here's some money. So, this episode of Battlestar Galactica is brought to you by bagels. They're so good. I had one this morning, and they are so good.
Are you hoping that, like, Big Bagel would call up and sponsor us?
Yeah, I mean, anybody that loves bagels or has bagels will call us up.
Okay.
If you wanted us to, like, pivot into, like, a podcast called, like, Battlestar Galactica, like, I would consider it. Because you are so good, you're so tasty, and I love you.
But I mean, like, it's a partnership, I think,
right?
With bagels and Kram Chas, because that shit is one of the best things I've ever tasted in my whole life. So good. If it wouldn't kill me,
eat it every day
by way of heart attack. I would eat it plain. I would get a contain and eat it with a spoon. Okay, happily. Well, I would finish the whole thing.
That is because you're a freak of nature. But yeah,
that is unfortunately I'll have a heart attack and die. But it is very good.
Yeah, I had myself a little baggie and cream cheese today.
Yeah, and you live in New York, where the bagels are the worst in the world, right?
That is correct. Yep. That's what we're known for, is the bad bagels. So if you are a good bagel and you want to get up on this advertising, let us know, because we love you. To this episode sponsored by bagels.
Yeah, please go to www.themarkcubanblog.com. Yes. And send us some bagels and some money. Yeah, a lot of money.
Yes, and if you go to while the deal lasts, go to bagels.com and you enter the promo code bagels.
Watching Battlestar Galactica in reverse chronological order.
Yes.
That's the promo code.
Yep. They will give you something. They haven't told us because they haven't been in contact with us, but you will get something. It might be an error 404 message from your computer, but you will receive a thing. So check that out for sure. Should we return to the podcast?
Yeah, let's go back to the podcast.
Cool. Great.
Thanks for the sponsorship.
Yeah, thanks, Bagels.
So if everyone thought Ellen was dead,
right,
and Starbuck thinks that she's dead,
yes,
and a lot of other people think that they're dead, at one point was everyone just like, oh, we're all dead?
Yeah, when she shows up, someone's like, how many dead people are out there? Which I thought was great. That was a great line.
Yeah. I don't like Eye Patch's growly voice.
Eye Patch won me over a little bit this episode, because this actor is such an over actor. It's unbelievable. Oh my God.
I can't believe. Yeah, he's way over the top.
When they drop that Caprica 6 is pregnant in front of his old chick, and he does like a head snap, basically a spit take. Like, it was a spit take without liquid in his mouth.
Absolutely.
It is so funny. Like, this, I would love, if it weren't against the rules of the show, I would love to just scour the internet for every fucking eye patch gif there is, because
Oh yeah,
like there must
agreed.
be thousands of great ones. They must just be out there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I can't. He's right at the bottom of the shit list for me, though.
Yeah.
I can't stand him. I don't like anyone, really. Caprica is leaderboard, but you know who took leaderboard for me this week?
Okay, let's hear it.
Eddie James himself.
Oh, no.
For being just so fucking drunk again.
They're
Just
not.
cuts to him later, and he's slurring his words and stumbling.
It's spilling
in
his
office.
drink.
He keeps doing that thing where he keeps refilling his drink before it's empty.
Yeah, and
He'll drink like 2 sips of a full glass and then pour more into it.
And like for a show that where everyone is drunk every episode, no one is particularly great at acting drunk. It's like these actors have never been drunk before.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just spittle spattling. He's asking if he remembers his birth.
It's like the actors were doing like their drunk thing, and then Ronald D. Moore was like, no, it's not like that, because this is space booze.
Yeah,
And everyone's like, oh, we got to be drunk on space booze. What would that be like?
What would it be? I bet it would be like,
what is space booze?
you know what it is.
What did Galen order? I was very curious about that, and I missed it, but I didn't feel like rewinding it.
Like a gin. I think he just ordered gin.
Oh, he would.
Yeah, it's that like. It's so disappointing that everything is spacey except for the alcohol. They're like, let's just have whiskey.
And the guns are just like guns.
Regular ass schmegular guns. Who we didn't talk about, who was definitely on my leaderboard this week, is Paula. She rocks.
Yeah.
She sucks. She hates Gaius. And we've only, I think we only saw Paula like once in a spaceship in like one of the finale episodes. Like, we've definitely seen her
I believe
before.
she's in that ship that gets hit by a rock.
Yeah, and then dies very unceremoniously. But
yeah, I like her because she doesn't give a fuck about stupid Gaius.
Yeah, and like, I love that she's like making very normal points, and everyone else is like, but maybe Gaius is right. And then they do Gaius's thing, and they're immediately robbed.
Basically, in this episode, Gaius seems to have returned from a long absence to like his colony, and all of the people, it's like all women, I guess.
Yeah, he just recruits
all the women are like
a dickhead.
mega horny for him, except for this one girl, Paula, who doesn't buy it and like is pissed that he abandoned them.
Yeah.
Gaius sucks. I don't like the girl with the short hair. She's on the shit list, the one who's like Gaius' #1 cheerleader.
Yeah.
After Gaius gives his big speech, she literally is like, wow! And she like shakes her arm.
Yeah, she
I couldn't stand that.
is the wackest. But he comes back, and they've been like, they're like, we're self-sufficient now. We could fucking live without. Paula is like, we can live without you, dickhead. And
yeah, and they have been.
Right. And he's like, but what if we give away some of your supplies? And they're like, yeah.
That's so annoying.
That's a good idea.
He marches in and starts giving away their food to people.
And then is immediately robbed. And it's great, because I love when he says, pull out your guns, and they pull out their guns so weakly. They're not even pointing them at the people. They're like holding them to show them.
Gingerly. I like that everyone, like the writers seem to be aware how shitty Gaius is. So I'm glad that it's not like we're supposed to like him and we just don't.
Right. No.
Like Gaius is a piece of shit.
Yeah, he definitely is. But what sucks is he kind of comes up big at the end of the episode because he convinces Eddie James to just give them a bunch of machine guns.
Oh yeah, that's true. And he's all fired up about that.
Yeah, I do love when he's giving his... It was like a goof, and it was such an over-the-top goof, but I love when like Angel Caprica is like, she's like basically whispering like a motivational speech into his ear to repeat, and then she's like, and guns, and he looks surprised for a minute, and then just has to go all the way, and he's like, and yeah, guns, so many guns,
bigger guns,
yeah, big fucking guns, get some fucking guns.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then they do, which is crazy.
And then they do, yeah.
I also didn't understand his pitch to Eddie James almost at all, where he was like, this is your last human solution. Like, I don't know what the problem is, so I don't understand the solution.
I didn't get that at all. Cool. I don't know who the people that are robbing him are. I don't know where they are on the ship. I don't get the Galactica at all. Is the Galactica the size of like a country, or like how big is this fucking ship?
Yeah, I don't know. They pitch out a lot of numbers, and all the numbers are different, because sometimes I think they're talking about Galactica, and sometimes they're talking about the whole fleet. And so I can't get a beat on anything.
Do you think
with that
people are on different ships in the fleet?
No, I think everyone that we see is on Galactica. I would guess. Like, I don't know where, because sometimes they're all in the same room together.
Like, what's in that? Where's the opening place where everyone's eating and someone tries to, like, beat up Caprica? Which is like, you try to take a Cylon? Come on, bro. I bet a Cylon could whip your butthole.
Yeah, I don't know. That looks like the depths of the ship. Like, there's some type of, which to me is maybe the most interesting part of this show so far, is there's some type of, like, weird social class situation where there's... Oh, we've only seen, until this episode...
Gaius mentioned that there was, like, lower levels at one point.
Yeah.
It was, like, the people on the lower levels.
Yes.
So maybe it's literally... Do you see Snowpiercer?
Yeah.
Do you see that motion picture?
Yeah.
What if it's, like, that type of thing?
Right.
Where it's, like, every level is... Or, like, kind of Hunger Games-ish.
Yeah, where it just gets bougier as you go through, and the bottom is just, like, the real pits.
Yeah.
Which, it sucks that, like, we've seen the resolution of this show, and not much comes from that. Like, they don't really address the fact that there's just, like... hella poor people, and we're mostly only seeing, like, the admiral, the president, all of the, like, good-looking people. Yeah.
A lot of people get sucked out of the ship in that one episode. I wonder who those people were. This is just so hard to keep
Probably
track
the poor people. It's always the poor people.
There's all these, like, these groups of this group that Gaius came back to. We hadn't seen any of those people. We'd never see them again after this episode.
Well, I think that what's happening right now is... they're probably tying up a lot of littler plots from the series before they drop the big bomb. Although the weird gang that robs them gets no other mention, and they mention them. They're like, oh yeah, of course they're involved. So it seems like they'll be back. Like they'll come up, but they don't get any type of resolution.
But we never see them after this.
Right. They get no. This is the last time we see them, and it's just them like mugging a people, and that's it.
There were no flashbacks in this episode, right?
No. Remember? During the conversation when Cancer Glasses is your baby important? She's like, I haven't been having visions. Have you? And then Caprica's like, not since I got pregnant. And that's when she's like, oh, do you think the baby's important?
Yeah.
So that is very confusing. I have no idea what they all know that they're having visions. The visions are an important part, and for some reason they stopped when the baby was on the way.
Yeah, I don't really understand.
I'm confused.
I don't get it. Papa Spicy.
Okay, you can't just always go to Papa Spicy for answers.
I always just want to do Papa Spicy.
I have two more theories. Can I toss them at you real quick?
Oh, yeah, hit me.
Okay, number one, Cylons are always
Wrong.
wearing the same clothes. They're like cartoon characters. This is not a theory because it is a fucking fact.
Do you think that they, well, first of all, I mean, like Saul and Eye Patch and stuff, like, they have, like, uniforms they have to wear.
Right, but chick that just arrived, what's her name? Lauren?
What?
The lady that arrived that was, like, Eye Patch's wife. What's her name?
Ellen
DeGeneres.
Yes.
She is wearing that same dress in what seems to be, like, 2 or 3 days worth of time.
Yeah, do you think it's like in Doug where they open their closet and it's just the same thing a bunch of times?
I absolutely think it is, and I think that is the way, and I'm not even joking, I think that's the way we're supposed to tell them apart. I think it's like a part of their persona that they have the same costume every time. So
did you notice that there was 2 Capricas in the scene where they're deciding where to go?
Yes.
One standing on each side of the room?
Yes.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. I think that they're in different... Be on the lookout for fucking costume changes, because I think that I've just cracked a code. Okay? Da
Vinci Code over here. He's cracking codes.
My other theory, which again is more of a fact than a theory, is there a world where Eye Patch and Edward James Olmos haven't at least once tried to fuck? Because they are so gay together.
They also Ellen's like, the only one you love on this ship is the captain.
Right. I think that they're never going to give it fully, but I think that the subtext is real there. Like, you just got to read between the lines, sheeple.
With their penises and their butts.
Yeah. Well, or mouth. You know, there's lots of different ways to go about that. But
well, according to Bill Clinton, that's not sex.
Oh. Do you want to talk more about Bill Clinton in the Bill Clinton section of the show?
I would. It is the Bill Clinton time.
Yeah. Maybe don't. You know what? Maybe we should table this one.
That's a good segment.
Yeah. We'll tease that one for a later episode or never.
Man. Foreshadowing for next time? That's fine.
Yeah. So I think that those two are super duper gay. I feel like we've several episodes have ended or begun with them being very drunk, only them together, and it's like they're real.
There's that
chummy.
one episode where it ends with them just sitting on the dang couch,
right,
drinking, and we all know what happens when you sit on a couch when you start drinking.
I've literally never, ever once sat on a couch and had one alcoholic beverage at least and not had sex with the person sitting next to me. It just doesn't happen. It's impossible. It's like sneezing with your eyes open.
Well, same. I've also never not had sex with a person.
Huh. So, yeah. You just have had sex with all persons?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. Cool. I've learned a lot about you today, mostly in the sense that you are a big piece of shit, but I guess I already knew that. So, I haven't learned anything. Yeah.
Okay, what's your other theory?
No, those are my theories. They're gay and they all wear the same clothes.
Oh, yeah, cool theories.
And then the end of the episode is the dead baby, which like it's gonna be this to me will be like the first real tangible plot line that we are like spoiled for, because like now we know the baby dies, but I feel like probably this entire season one of the plot lines is, oh fuck, a full Cylon baby's coming, and that's wild.
Right, but they also seems like they acknowledge that that's not a big deal because everyone's like, it's better to have a half Cylon, half human baby rather than a full Cylon baby.
Yeah.
What the fuck is a Cylon?
Okay, but also, isn't it funny that we can't tell if because in this episode they confirm that Ellen and Eye Patch have been dating or have been married for like 5,000 years, and that they have never been able to have a child, but also often are mentioning how like lots of these people have technically fathered thousands and thousands of children. So what is it? Which one is it? Does he have millions of babies or does he have none babies? There are only two options.
It's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of both.
Ooh, it's a little bit of both. I don't like that. I don't like that.
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. There was no Hoshi in this episode. There was no Athena in this episode. There was no Hilo or Hera.
Very little Starbuck. Only to tease
only
the next
one
episode,
scene of Starbuck,
the piano
which
episode.
Sucks because she's the only character I sort of understand, even though I don't. Because she's like a zombo
yeah, she's
robot
a zombo,
vampire.
so yeah, that's put that one in the books. That one's good.
Yeah, okay, it's and it's in the books.
Cool, nice.
And with that, we say goodbye.
Yeah.
I'm going to book a flight to New York to murder Jesse.
Cool. Sounds good.
Wildershaw on Instagram, Wildershaw_ on Twitter. You can listen to my other podcast, He Loves Me Not, on iTunes with Anna Gilchrist. You could check out our blog that we write together about lots of stuff that's even dumber than this, JesseandWildersGuideToLife.com.
Yeah, and I'm Jesse McGrath, and you can find me on Twitter at JMcGrizz or on any of my video game stream shows at Super Trash Bros, supertrashbros.com, or all my writing on the internet. You could just Google it. Just fucking Google it. We're in the future. Stop asking. And thanks to... Did we already thank Todd? Bad Todd?
Nope.
For the theme song?
Yeah, thank you, T-Bone Jones.
Yep. For that sexy, filthy, nasty theme song that you're going to hear
yes,
right...
Thank you, sweaty bathtub full of sweat-ass theme
now.
song.
Put it on now, Wilder. Post. Put it on right now.
Put what on?
The theme song.
Oh, it's already playing, baby.
Oh, shit. Well, see you later. Bye.